I knew the day would eventually come when I would have to start replacing parts of my aging DJ setup, but I didn't plan on that happening so soon. A few months ago, I started having problems with my Allen Heath Xone 42 DJ Mixer. The problems with my Xone 42 progressively got worse, and I spent a lot of time trying to solve them. Eventually, I came to the conclusion that the problems were not something that I would be able to solve myself. Unfortunately, that meant that I had to start looking at other options. While looking at the different hardware and software options available to me, I kept the following in mind. First off, I didn't want to buy anything that was already aging, even if it's listed as a current product by the manufacturer. For example, the Xone 43 is the newer version of the Xone 42 that I have. And on Allen Heath's website, they list it as a current product, even though the Xone 43 was first released in 2015. So how much of an upgrade would it really be going from the Xone 42 to the Xone 43, considering that the Xone 43 came out over 10 years ago? Second, I could have spent a whole lot less money than I ultimately did by getting a controller like the MX2 from Native Instruments, or a 2-channel mixer like the Xone 24 from Allen Heath. Both of those products came out near the end of 2025, so they're both very, very new. But that would mean losing features that my setup already had, and I certainly didn't want that. Finally, I decided that if I was going to be spending a substantial amount of money, I wanted to make sure that whatever it was that I bought didn't just solve my current problems, but also didn't lead to other problems later down the line. I really like the Tractor Pro software, and I wanted to keep using it. While I doubt Native Instruments products are going to disappear entirely due to their preliminary insolvency proceedings, no one knows what's going to happen in the future. Ultimately, I decided to replace my Allen Heath Xone 42 with a new Pioneer DJM-A9. Here are the reasons why. The DJM-A9 is the newest flagship 4-channel DJ mixer from Pioneer, now Alpha Theta. Like it or not, the Pioneer CDJs and their DJM mixers remain the industry standard. If all I cared about was mixing at home, then that wouldn't be a factor in my decision-making process. However, now I am venturing out to some events in my local area, like open deck nights. I want to participate in those events, and to do so, you need to be at least familiar with the Pioneer gear that they provide. By only replacing my Xone 42 with a new mixer, I can keep using Tractor with my Control X1 controllers. That means that I can spend my time learning the ins and outs of the DJM-A9 and not spend that time learning a new DJ software program. I also remain flexible when it comes to future upgrades. In the Tractor world, I could get the Control X1 MK3s, or I could switch to CDJs, or I could do something entirely different. By only replacing the mixer, I have a lot more control over what I can plug in and out of it, as opposed to buying, say, an all-in-one unit or a controller that only works with one piece of software. Lastly, the dual USB audio interfaces in the DJM-A9 allowed me to stop using the Native Instruments Audio 8 DJ and the Behringer UMC 204 HD, along with the 6 cables that connected them to my Xone 42. I want to give a shout out to bboymac84 who commented on my last video, who said that getting a mixer with the audio interface built in would make my life a whole lot easier. I definitely underestimated just how much of a difference that would make. I purchased my A9 about 2 weeks ago, and I've already recorded a few mixes that you can check out at youtube.com/djpetermorgan. Here are 5 of my first impressions using the Pioneer DJM-A9 for a short period of time. Number 1, the DJM-A9 is way bigger than the Xone 42. The measurements of the A9 are 4.4 inches wider, 4.4 inches deeper, and 0.95 inches taller than the measurements of the Xone 42. Number 2, I know it will take me a while to get used to them, but I really enjoy having channel faders with a linear curve again. I never fully embraced the channel fader curves on the Xone 42, and unfortunately, it did not have changeable fader curves like the DJM-A9 does. Number 3, the USB connectivity is way more extensive than I realized it would be. Not only can you connect 2 computers at the same time to the DJM-A9, but you have tons of options when it comes to the configuration of the inputs and outputs. Being able to record the channels pre-fader, or the mix without the microphone signal, allows for ways to edit the mix after it's recorded that I wasn't able to before. Number 4, it's a very small thing, but I like how many of the knobs have the center notch. However, I do worry about the longevity of the sound color effects center lock mechanism, and from reading online, it seems like I'm not the only one with that concern. Number 5. Coming from the Xone 42, I did not expect there to be as many customization settings and options as there are on the DJM-A9. I like that you can save some of your effects parameters and settings onto a USB drive and then take those with you to load onto another unit. So far, I've been very happy with the Pioneer DJM-A9, even though I've barely scratched the surface of using it to its fullest potential. If you recently replaced an aging piece of DJ gear, I would love to know what you replaced and why you replaced it in the comment section below. Thanks for watching this video from the DJ Podcast. See you next time.